You know how we've been having a bunch of shoes that kind of pay tribute loosely to cement gray? The Air Jordan 3, maybe, I don't know, or maybe it's just the color gray, I'm not sure. But nothing about the shoe makes me think Air Jordan 4, but the box sure as hell does. This is f***ing cool, just letting you guys know. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on a shoe that I was actually not excited for just because, you know, it's another pair, so whatever. But when I got them in, I was like, these are clean as shit. This, my friends, is the Air Jordan 1 High OG and what they're so far calling the washed black. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't make up these names, okay? It's the internet. I just use them as titles because it's what people are searching for. I've explained this before, but it's all about SEO. So again, I don't know what the brand itself is going to call these. They might just call them white black. They might call them, let's see, it says black, fire red, white. So I don't know. That is gray, isn't it?
They're not going to talk about the gray at all?
I don't know. It's a little confusing to me too. So like, don't roast me. Don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger. But yeah, you know, it's a confusing one, that's for sure. But yeah, traditionally the washed Air Jordan 1s are done up just like this. So again, I think that this is an internet nickname, maybe not the brand's nickname, but we'll find out once these are on sneakers. But the washed shoes normally do have a setup like this where it's white underneath or a leather based underneath, and then they have the overlays in suede and stuff like that. So the main difference though is that there's normally like kind of like a marbly look to it. Those turbo greens, the washed denims or washed blues or whatever, I don't know what they're called. There was the washed pinks that we did recently. There was another one that I can't freaking remember what the name of it was, but somebody pointed out, I think Spider-Man wore them. They were black instead of white, and then they still had suede on the outside. So yeah, I don't remember what those are called. I can see where the internet was coming from, but I don't know if it's necessarily part of that series or line or colorway. All I know is that they're way nicer than I thought they would be. So yeah, I like them. I like it a lot. Now the outsole is very plain, but I think a lot of people are gonna like this, mainly because it's black, and black apparently doesn't show that there's dirt on there, even though it's still there, guys. Trust me, germs are germs.
2319! We have a 2319!
But we've still got the greatest traction of all time right there on the bottom. And again, it's just black rubber, very simple, very subtle. I dig it. I wouldn't have minded if it was gray, but you know, it is what it is. We do have a sail midsole. Basically, it's a rubber cup sole, just like every other Air Jordan 1. And then inside of that cup sole is a polyurethane wedge. And then inside of that wedge is a heel air unit.
Encapsulated.
Encapsulated, thank you. Now the upper on the shoe is where things really shine. The materials used are not fantastic, but they're very good, especially in comparison to some of the previous Air Jordan 1 releases. And what I mean by that is that instead of just some of the materials being really nice, all of the materials feel really nice. So I really like that. So the main body of the shoe, or all of the white leather, is very soft. It's got a semi-textured look to it, so it's not quite tumbled, but it kind of has that feel. I think that this stuff looks really good once you start to wear it, just because it doesn't quite show as many creases for those of you guys that care. I personally don't. All of my shoes are creased up and I wear them proudly, but a lot of people don't like that look, so this will hide that just a little bit. Now the white panel that's here at the mid panel, same exact materials, it's just kind of stretched out a little bit, so it still has some of that texture, but it doesn't have some of the wrinkly look to it, just because it's, you know, they stretch it around the last a little bit differently. But you can see when you're looking at the cut lines and everything that are right there, they're all visible. Really nice, decently thick cuts of leather. So again, you got to give them credit for where it's due. It's definitely not that cheap ass they use on the dunks or on the mids or on the lows, not the OG lows, the regular lows. I really dislike that there are so many versions of the one shoe. However, all of the suede overlays are awesome. I know that some people have been commenting, being like, hey, suede is the cheapest of the leathers. It's like, okay, that's great. It's leather anyways, you know what I mean? And I really like it. I think that suede looks elegant, as it should. And I think that nubuck is awesome as well. So using those on the exterior portions or the overlay portions, I think is fantastic. If you don't like it all of a sudden, then go for it. But I still really like suede. I always have and I always will.
You complete me.
Now the back collar section right here that is kind of like underneath those overlay panels, also suede, different color. I don't mind it. I think it looks good. These actually remind me a little bit of what I wish that those, I don't remember what they were called, but they were white with the light gray and then that red collar up here. I still have them, they're upstairs. It's almost the same exact colorway. They just tweak things just a slight bit. I think that this one looks a little bit better, personally. And then much like the, I don't know what they're calling them, but the new versions of the OG1 highs, they have the different toe shapes. So these ones I think look a little bit better. They're a little bit wider, less narrow at the tip. They have a slightly bigger swoosh, and then you have the debossed, embossed, I always forget it, man. Either way, the Wings logo is not punched into the material. Instead, it protrudes out, and then they got the color on there. So yeah, whatever that is, I think it's embossed.
It's just bossed.
Bossed. It's one of the bossed.
Yes.
But either way, I think that they look nice. They're not quite OG, but it's getting closer. And when you have the 85 cut version, I don't know how close they're ever gonna get anyways, because now there's clearly two high top versions of the shoe, because you know, it's not gonna confuse a single person. Now the tongue is not white. It is, I don't know what that is.
It's washed black. Duh.
You think that's what that is?
I don't know.
That's where the washed black comes from? I don't know.
It does look like the remnants from you washing.
Like what your white socks look like
Yes.
after a few washes, exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if that's the intent, or I don't know if that's where people are getting, I don't think it is. They're not getting the name from that. I think it's just the material usage and where they're placed. But anyways, it's an off-white tongue, not sail, but not white.
And it doesn't have like that blue tint to it that some of them get, or the
No.
peachy tint. It's definitely.
Oh yeah, it's definitely got a gray tint, because behind here, that's where all the tints come from, is the foam inside of the material. So when you have that bluish tint, it's because the material inside is a white with a blue tinted foam. When you have it look a little bit yellow, more vintage, it's literally yellow foam in there, so it's kind of peeking through. This one has a gray look, and when you poke through that little, forgot what those are called too.
It's a fixed loop,
Okay.
I think it
Well,
was.
Inside the fixed loophole, you can see that the foam is gray. And then my favorite part that is just the weirdest little accent piece, but I dig it, is actually the tongue tab. Black, red, can't go wrong. Looks awesome. Now again, the box really throwing me off here because it looks a lot like splatter print, like the Air Jordan 4, the white cements, that cement gray. I don't see cement gray anywhere though on the box label, so that's like really weird. So again, I don't know if they're just kind of like loosely paying tribute to some of their classic shoes with the Air Jordan 1, because you know, they're running out of ideas for colorways, so they gotta do something. I don't know if it's that, but either way, I think that this colorway looks good, and I just love the way the box looks. It would have been really cool if those black splatters would have been on top of the suede. That would have been a really dope touch. You don't think so? Would have been too much?
Too much.
Too much? I think it would have been just right.
I don't think people would have been into it.
I don't know. I mean, elephant print. I think the splatter print might have worked. Maybe just the swoosh.
Maybe.
She does not sound confident. Anyways, as far as the fit is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically get, that's what I would go for. Again, I really think that they did a good job on these. I hope that everybody that wants a pair is able to get a pair. Good luck to everybody. But yeah, sound off below. Let us know what you think about these down below in the comment section. Are you a fan? Are you not? Thank you once again for being here. We greatly appreciate you guys. We will catch you on the next one. So until then, have a good one. Also, you know how I asked you if those airship box was gradient and you were like, nah.
I saw it afterward.
Well, I'm just letting you know I was right. I wasn't colorblind this time, and they did it here too. I like it.
I also cut all of that from the video so nobody knew my blunder, okay?
It's fine. You left in my 1.5 times.
That was a different video.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was. You still left it in a video. All my blunders get turned into bloopers.
Because they're fun.
For you.
And everyone else.
Except me.